Hello, I'm Charlie Spittle again, or as my colleague Arak Eagle, I believe, addresses me, Mr. Gnosis. I will now speak about truth. Humility is the truth, and this truth will set you free. The truth is infinite and diverse. It can be described as many things, but only two descriptions of it are true. That it is pure and absolute. You cannot contaminate it. You can cover it up, lie, tell only part of it, refute it, but you cannot change it or corrupt it. It exists defying everything else. Charlie Spittle, June 9, 2006. Truth is like energy. It may change form in appearance, but its essence is always constant. Charlie Spittle, June 9, 2008. There are things that are true, and then there are things that are the truth. The things that are true are dynamic. What I mean by this is that they are changing. What may be true in one moment or frame of time, being an hour, day, month, year, decade, etc., may not be true in another. The things that are the truth are universal, constant, and forever, and do not change with time. Although the truth is absolute, it comes in many diverse and various forms. It can be straightforward, plain, simple, and obvious, or multifaceted, complex, elusive, and subtle. It can all be one way, all another way, or somewhere in between, both ways. It could be one person, place, or thing, or a conspiracy of a combination of these. Whatever form the truth may take, it is reality, and it is pure. It cannot be contaminated. The revelation, discovery, or revolution of the truth to human beings can also be varied and diverse in its effects on humanity. We can say the truth is ugly, beautiful, sad, happy, mad, and or glad, that it hurts, brings joy, sets us free, can be brutal or tender. But after all humanity's efforts to describe truth, the ultimate reality of truth is that it is. It exists no matter what you do to it, will always be there, and there is no way you can put out the light of truth. You could hide it, silence it, deny it, suppress it, rent the concealment of it, but you could never get rid of it. And wherever there are human beings with the consciences, it will always exist in their hearts and minds and souls. And wherever there are those with the courage to speak the truth, the light of justice, equality, freedom, peace, and hope for a better world will exist. Charlie Spittle, December 6, 2005. Tone in writers and writing. Tone is usually defined as the author's attitude toward audience and subject matter. No written work can be without tone, and often it is essential that a reader grasps that tone intellectually, not just react to it subjectively. In order to appreciate a poem or other piece of writing, in order to understand how it is producing its effects, think of a literary work as analogous to something spoken aloud, and then think of what we commonly refer to as tone of voice. The tone of a work or of an utterance inevitably influences or even determines how we take what is said. The tone of a writer in a given work, like that of a speaker of a given utterance, can be serious, light-hearted, casual, sarcastic, morbid, angry, jovial, condescending, begging, resigned, wistful, peremptory, earnest, reticent, moral, ironic, playful, tragic, contentious, scoffing, bragging, obsequious, exhorting, pleading, skeptical, pessimistic, optimistic, conversational, formal, critical, non-committal, sentimental, flat, exuberant, scolding, morose, sad, happy, tentative, flippant, secretive, regretful, forgiving, rambunctious, complacent, apologetic, maudlin, and so on, all to various degrees and in various mixtures and combinations or amalgamations. All of the elements of style, as well as sometimes the choice of subject matter itself, contribute to the creation of tone in a particular work. W. E. Messinger, W. H. New. People also cry when they hear or see the truth of their own experience. Charlie Spittle, June 29, 1998. Just because something has a term for it doesn't necessarily mean it's true. October 17, 2006. Just because someone says something with confidence, that doesn't mean it's true. Check validity based on facts, not expression. Charlie Spittle, November 19, 1997. I trust but verify. Ronald Reagan. Just because something is deep doesn't necessarily mean it's true. Depth, when it comes to human expression, is humanity's attempt at trying to reason and extract meaning out of an experience or oral or written communication, usually based on that person's own life experiences. Some say truth is relative. I disagree. I believe truth is absolute and irrefutable and without compromise. I believe people can have an understanding and personal philosophies based on what makes sense to them, based on their life experiences, what they were taught and how their friends think. But people don't have personal truth. Truth is absolute and universal and is something that can be agreed by everyone. People have taken this sacred word for granted and been very fickle and flippant about it. And too many people claim to know the truth. These type of people are very dangerous because to do so is to claim to be God. Charlie Spittle, August 15, 2003. When you're honest, the truth radiates from you, or the most accurate information at the time comes forth. Unless you're misinformed, the knowledge you'll express will be true. When you are honest, the real information will be revealed, and it will be easier to recall the correct information because you'll not be clouded by lies, deception, or warped reality. Charlie Spittle, August 25, 2003. Just because someone's highly intelligent, that doesn't necessarily mean they're honest. October 24, 2006, Charlie Spittle. If the media ever stuck to the truth, they'd have very little to say. Most of what the media offers are perceptions on what has happened or on what people say or do. The only sure way to get to the truth is to go right to the source and ask that person, and if he, she is honest, then you'd have the truth. The media is about so-called experts, pundits, journalists, friends, psychiatrists, family, and or lawyers saying what they thought about a person, where in essence they talk around the subject in their perceptions, innuendos, insights, thoughts, opinions, hypotheses, and perspectives about what a person meant when he, she did or said something, which is just hearsay because none of it comes from the actual source itself. Not to mention the books that people write about each other, which become bestsellers based on what the topic is and not on the source or authority which is behind it. Charlie Spittle, November 9, 2004. To be a good, decent human being, you must have honesty and integrity. Integrity is being true to yourself, and honesty is being true to others. Charlie Spittle, March 25, 2005. We don't know the truth about everything. What we mostly do know is what works, and what works most efficiently. The truth is subtle and elusive. Not only most of the time, we don't know it and never will. The truth can be stranger than fiction. What we can do is be truthful to each other, but we must learn to temper our honesty and integrity with compassion, empathy, sympathy, and understanding, and diplomacy, to allow white lies and truth concealed when it comes to people's feelings. Sometimes, though, feelings can be sacrificed if it is imperative that the others know the truth. Again, it depends on the situation. Let your Head and heart be the judge as to the amount of discretions you want to exercise concerning the truth. Charlie Spittle, June 2nd, 2005. The expression revealing or telling of the truth should be tempered or weighted against the cost or costs in human lives or quality of human lives it affects, and whether that net effect serves ultimately in the end for the betterment of these or detriment of these. Charlie Spittle, July 7, 2006. Those people who claim to know the truth are very proud, arrogant, and dangerous. Charlie Spittle, June 2, 2005. Knowledge, wisdom, insight, and truth are only valued if they are shared. It's no use if you obtain these and keep them to yourself and don't share it with others to make humanity, people, and the world a better place. Charlie Spittle, June 2, 2005. Death is not the most profound loss or tragedy in life. That which dies inside of us as we live is a far greater loss. The loss of possibility, a loss that comes from running our personal rackets, has ravaged the lives of too many individuals who would have otherwise transformed the world. Tracy Goss, The Last Word on Power. One thing that I've learned about the truth in my young life is that the truth is usually nor here nor there, for the most part, but somewhere in between. There are few absolutes in this existence. Instead, there is usually a balance between the two, or multiple sides of an issue or concept. And this balance isn't always 50-50, but a varied range depending on the concept at hand. That's why in academia, students are warned of the multiple choice answers that have the words always or never, because these choices are seldom correct. Charlie Spittle, June 27, 2005. The truth is pluralistic, and you must grasp each concept within the context in which it is presented. R.B.M. Dale. True love. What made me believe in true love, romantic love, was I met a girl in my first year at university, which enlightened me. I could now see why people stay together even when there's a really attractive one and an ugly one together. It's the inner beauty. It's the intimate knowledge of one another, the loyalty and the closeness two people feel for each other, which transcends physical attractiveness and defines true romantic love. True nobility is not being better than anyone else. It is about being better than you used to be. Dr. Wayne Dyer. Beauty in truth, truth beauty. Find it any place that you can. Dr. Wayne Dyer. Pride is a lie, humility is a truth. Bible. No one likes being lied to. I know I don't. But I believe there are few absolutes to live by in this life to make it a good one, and the absolute of always telling the truth is not one of them. I think it's a mistake in thinking this absolute into the morals and ethics of our conduct and values, which has been taught in our religion and handed down generations. I believe lying is sometimes necessary. Charlie Spittle, August 6, 2006. I could never tell a lie that anybody would doubt, nor a truth that anyone would believe. Mark Twain. Truth of experience. What's most real to you, what you feel most strongly about, can most powerfully affect your speech and or behavior. We must resist these strong impulses, especially when such an influence is negative. Charlie Spittle, January 20, 2007. That is the subtle elusiveness of the human reality that truth is beyond our grasp. Charlie Spittle, January 22, 2008. When you obtain and contain more knowledge than another, you are not superior to them. What you are is a servant to them to alleviate and enlighten them from their ignorance. You are helping them to see the truth. Charlie Spittle, February 4, 2008. He I call indeed a Brahma, who utters true speech, instructive and free from harshness, so that he offends no one. Buddha. The Autobiography of Martin Luther King Jr., Chapter 30. So precious that you will die for it. I say to you this morning that if you have never found something so dear and so precious to you that you will die for it, then you aren't fit to live. You may be 38 years old, as I happen to be, and one day some great opportunity stands before you and calls upon you to stand up for some great principle, some great issue, some great cause. And you refuse to do it because you are afraid. You refuse to do it because you want to live longer. You're afraid that you will lose your job, or you are afraid that you will be criticized, or that you will lose your popularity, or you're afraid that somebody will stab you or shoot at you, or bomb your house. So, you refuse to take the stand. Well, you may go on and live long until you are 90, but you are just as dead at 38 as you would be at 90. And the cessation of breathing in your life is but the belated announcement of an earlier death of the spirit. You died when you refused to stand up for right. You died when you refused to stand up for truth. You died when you refused to stand up for justice. Don't ever think that you're by yourself. Go on to jail if necessary, but you never go alone. Take a stand for that which is right, and the world may misunderstand you and criticize you, but you never go alone. For somewhere I read that one with God is a majority. Walk with him this morning and believe in him and do what is right, and he'll be with you even until the consummation of the ages. Yes, I've seen the lightning flash. I've heard the thunder roll. I've felt sin breakers dashing, trying to conquer my soul. But I heard the voice of Jesus saying, still to fight on. He promised never to leave me alone. Never to leave me alone. Never alone, no, never alone. Sermon at Ebenezer, November 5th, 1967. The two things that pervade and are ubiquitous to humanity are truth and love. One cannot exist without either or both. Charlie Spittle. The general theme in media, movies, TV, books, and in fiction and nonfiction is that of the truth. It is upheld and extolled as a holy grail and sacred and above anything else, and is worth whatever sacrifices has to be made, no matter how great or costly, to reveal the real. I think this idea is childish idealism, naive, ignorant, gullible, and simplistic. Real life is more complicated than that. Truth doesn't always prevail, and sometimes the best thing to do, even arguably the right thing to do, is lie or not know or reveal the truth. Charlie Spittle, October 13, 2007. Thank you. This concludes my section on truth.